In the musical, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, Adam, the oldest, he went to town to look for a wife, Millie, and brought her home with him. So Millie settled into marriage life, family life, with Adam, her husband, and his 6 brothers. So there's a lot of things in that musical, but it got to a stage where the 6 brothers were beginning to be lonely. They also wanted wives of their own. None of them were thinking about it before because the 7 brothers were just living together. But when they saw how Adam was with his wife, and then she got pregnant, she had a baby, they all wanted wives of their own. But they didn't know how to go about getting wives, because they lived in a rural countryside place where there weren't really women. So Adam, the brother, was now telling them a story of the Romans and how they went about, how they kidnapped women and married them by force. So he was telling them this story of sobbing, looting the city and stealing the women, and that was how they got wives for themselves. And if we also remember the tribe of Benjamin, when they were almost wiped out by the other tribes, they had to go to neighboring cities and villages to kidnap girls, and they became their wives. So it's not like a new thing. So when Adam told his brothers this story, that this is how the Romans got their wives, they all decided now to go into the town and go and kidnap 6 girls, you know, for the brothers. So each brother will kidnap a girl and bring her back, and she will become his wife. So they did that. But unfortunately for them, when Millie saw these terrified girls all sobbing, crying, she separated the boys and the girls. So she didn't let them get together. So they could not really do their plan, what they were planning. And she told her husband off for leading the boys astray and for them going to kidnap these terrified young girls. So here we're doing Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, only daughter of Jacob. She's Leah's child. Leah is the unloved wife. I've done Leah. I'll add her to the end of this. She's Leah's daughter. Leah gave birth to 6 sons, and then she had her daughter Dinah for Jacob. So after Jacob and all his family left Padan Aram, where his uncle was, Laban, so when he left with all his family, and after the union with his brother Esau, you know, they kissed and they made up, Jacob and his children settled in Shechem in Canaan. So they bought a land there, and there they settled. They pitched their tent, their camp there. So then, Dinah decided to go into the town to go and visit the women. You know, you're going to live somewhere, you have to intermingle, introduce yourself. So she goes into the town to go and visit other women and maybe find girls her own age that they can be friends. She's in a household full of boys. So she wants a girlfriend that they can do girly things together, laugh, you know, paint their nails, do their hair, you know, so it's not unusual. So she goes into town to meet with the other women, and Shechem, son of Hamor the Hivite, saw Dinah and thought, whoa, she is beautiful. So he abducts her and rapes her. Maybe that's the culture of the Hivites. So this is how they show their love to a girl. Maybe that's how they propose to a girl. But unfortunately, that was not the ways of the Israelites. Everywhere has got their own custom, their own culture. But the Hivites didn't learn the culture of the Israelites to see maybe this is how they also go about getting a wife. He raped Dinah, and then he told his dad Hamor to go to her dad and get her for him as his wife. So when Jacob heard what had happened, that his daughter had been defiled, he kept it to himself. And when his sons came back from the field, he told them, this is what has happened to your sister. Now, this is a girl who has 6 older brothers. 6 older brothers. She's the baby and the only girl. So she must have been pampered and petted and looked after by all her brothers. So when the Hamor came to Jacob and said, my son Shechem loves your daughter, I would love to marry her, and we want to, you know, intermingle with us, let's intermarry, you know, your sons our daughters, your daughters our sons, let's do business together, commerce and everything together. Jacob's sons pretended that that was good, but they said, our sister cannot marry an uncircumcised person. That's our culture, our law, our religion. You have to be circumcised, and then we will give our sister to you. So Hamor and the son said, yeah, that's a good idea. All the city will all be circumcised so that we can all intermingle. We will do what you have said. And Hamor was able to go back to the city and convince all the men that, you see, these people have come to live among us. Their wealth will be our wealth. You know, let's intermarry. Let's do things together. They want us to be circumcised, and let's be circumcised. So they all got circumcised. And on the 3rd day, when they were sore and they were in pain, Jacob's sons, Levi and Simeon, I think, those two, they went and killed all the men in Shechem. They were sitting ducks because they were in pain. They could not fight back. So when Jacob heard what his sons had done, he was livid, and he was also fearful that if all the other neighboring cities hear about this, they might come out in full force and destroy them and wipe them all out. So Jacob decided, well, God said they should move, so they left Shechem and they went to Bethel. So that's how they left. And then along the way, you know, the nurse died and Rachel died along the way. So that was how they left Shechem. So I thought I had finished the women of the Bible, but a user on Reddit, what's the name? Compass Rose, said to Dinah, you know, I want to see your take on Dinah. So that's why I'm now doing Dinah. So hopefully this is the last women of the Bible in this series. So that's Dinah, the only daughter of Jacob. She was raped. Unfortunately, it seems like Shechem's heart was in the right place. He really did love Dinah. He probably would have looked after her, but that's not how things were done among the Israelites. You don't rape first and then pay the bride price, because Jacob's son said, you shouldn't have treated our sister like a prostitute. So they were furious, and the men of Shechem lost their lives over this one incident. So if you are living with somebody, try and get to know their ways. You know, try and get to know other people's cultures. I'm Nigerian. My husband is from Ghana. Over here and in Nigeria, a little kid, when they do wrong, you say, naughty boy, naughty girl. In Ghana, naughty is a swear word. They like, why she said naughty? It doesn't mean anything here in London, UK. It doesn't mean anything in Nigeria. A naughty child is a naughty child. But when you say naughty in Ghana, so whenever we go to Ghana with my kids, I don't say, you naughty kid, because they will come, your wife has just sworn. Get to learn other people's culture so you don't lose your life. That's it. Thank you. Bye.